Hello friends. It's a beautiful morning and I'm at my parents' house for Corn Day. Every year there's a couple days when my siblings and my nieces and nephews and my parents gather to preserve food together. Makes for a lighter load with so many people helping. So there's usually a corn day and a spaghetti sauce day and an applesauce day. And this year's special because I get to be part of these days. I've been part of, I think, one, maybe 10 or so years ago. But usually, I've been too far away to be part of this. So I'm excited to be with my family today and to preserve some corn. Some of us freeze our corn and some of us can it, but we all together cook the corn and cut it off the cobs, and everybody leaves with a corn stash for their freezer or pantry. I have an uncle who grows sweet corn to sell at farmers markets, and often he's the source of the corn for Corn Day. But this year he happened to be low in stock, which is a good thing. It means business has been going well this year. So my dad went to a produce auction, a local auction, and he bid on a skid load of corn to supply the family for the year.
The garage. The door's open. You can ride your little...
Corn starts converting its sugar to starch the moment it's picked. So the key to preserving flavorful corn is to preserve it as soon as possible. This corn was picked the morning it went to auction, and as soon as my dad bought it, he brought it home and put it in a large cooler, and we are now preserving it the next morning. So this should be pretty flavorful, definitely more flavorful than the average product you'll find in the freezer section or canned goods section of the grocery store. I'm excited about that, dreaming of some really sweet and flavorful corn chowder in the winter. So what are you doing right now?
Hooking up the water hose for taking the silk off.
Okay, so you just screw it on and then turn it on? Oh, look at that, Willa. Some water coming out.
Okay, I'm going to turn it off till we're ready. Now. Point. Stick that in first. Put the point in first. I'll show you. Let me get you. All right. Turn the water on. Turn the machine on. Now, put it in. Just stick it in the end. So it takes it. Yep, get it out of it. Put it right behind it. Just like this. Just push it in a little. No, the pointed end first. That's the point. Put the point first. Put another one in.
Keep pushing. Good job.
Put the next one in. Just keep them coming.
Oh, you got it, girlie.
Push a little bit. Get the next one.
After husking, each ear of corn is passed through the desilking machine, where water and brushes remove all the extra little bits of silk that we didn't get while we were husking.
There's brushes in there that take the silk off. Lots of them. You want to help?
Try one, Jamie? Oh, bud.
All
All right.
That's the pointy end. Put the pointy end in first. That's right. That's
Can you
right.
help Jamie, Willa?
In the end first.
Jamie, give it a try. Well, he wants to do it. There we go. Give it a push now from the back.
Keep it in.
Oh, cool. Jamie, you want to try another one?
Dad rented the desilker for the day. I asked him what the rate was, and I was amused to learn that it had cost $10. So I think he got a pretty good deal on this one.
Good job, sweetie. How many? I forget how many.
Yeah, that's probably full enough.
Okay, you can just keep putting them down in there.
And then fill that. Catch it and get them out, yeah. Fill that.
Once the corn has been thoroughly cleaned, it gets placed into a pillowcase, a clean pillowcase, to be transported to the pot where it'll be boiled. So usually about 2 dozen ears will fit into the pillowcase, and then it gets carried over and placed into the pot. After the water returns to boiling, the corn is boiled for 3 minutes.
Really taste and see if that's enough. Yeah, I think that's good.
Okay.
Dump a little bit more so we can save as much hot water. Okay, now we're going over to the first one.
Back here.
Dump it out of the bag. It always wants to stick in the bag a little bit.
It's got suction, doesn't it?
Yeah, I just hope you're going to get it out of it.
Yeah. Ooh.
Now I can fill the bag again.
To cool the corn and stop the cooking process, it then passes through a series of 3 tubs. The first 2 tubs have water to cool it down, and then the third tub has ice.
I don't know, there's another bag of ice in the freezer. Why don't you get another bag of ice and dump it on top again?
I can pop up here for you. I don't know why you want to get way
Tricky pop pop. Who did that belong to? I cross-stitched it.
The last one and you get the last one.
Pull some of this ice out.
Cover it.
Yeah, so and
Hi, baby.
I want it covered in the ice.
Hi, bud. Just a minute.
The final step in this process was to cut the corn from the cob and bag it. We bagged 2 cups of corn in each quart-sized freezer bag because that was the amount that seemed most convenient for cooking. This was definitely one of the more time-consuming steps, but fortunately it's also one that many people can work on at the same time. After the last bit of corn has been bagged, the cleanup work begins. The corn desilker is opened up and hosed down to get all the last bits of silk out. All the containers and bins and cutting boards and knives that were used for the day get washed and cleaned and rinsed. And finally, the corn cobs and the husks from the entire skid load of corn get loaded back onto the skid on Dad's truck, and they will be sent to my uncle, where they will become compost in his cornfield. It's all come full circle. In total, we've bagged 106 bags of corn, which should see us through until next summer when the fresh corn is ready again. Anyone who's preserved food knows that it takes a lot of time. Freezing, canning, drying food for later, all of it takes energy, it takes time, and it creates dirty dishes. As I've begun this journey to change the way that I source my family's food, I have definitely found myself spending more hours alone in the kitchen. It's not uncommon for my kids to be outside playing while I'm inside canning and preparing dinner. To be clear, I'm not complaining. I like this rhythm. I enjoy my time in the kitchen, and I definitely don't mind having a little time to myself. But I also want to remind myself to seek out opportunities to share this work with others. The work becomes a little bit lighter when it's shared, and to work in community is a good thing. Thanks for spending some time with me and my family today. Please like and subscribe so that you can join me for more projects like this, and I look forward to seeing you next week.